smuggled, beaten and drugged the illicit global ape trade. Mbandaka, Democratic Republic of Congo. The sting began, as so many things do these days, on social media. Daniel Styles, a self-styled ape trafficking detective in Kenya, had been scouring Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp for weeks, looking for pictures of gorillas, chimps or orangutans. He was hoping to chip away at an illicit global trade that has captured or killed tens of thousands of apes and pushed some endangered species to the brink of extinction. The way they do business, he said of ape traffickers, makes the Mafia look like amateurs. After hundreds of searches, Mr. Styles found an Instagram account offering dozens of rare animals for sale, including baby chimpanzees and orangutans dressed in children's clothes. He sent an email to an address on the account, looking for young adotans, the industry standard slang for orangutans, and several days later received a reply. 2 babies, $7.5K each. Special introductory price. The trafficker identified himself only as Tom and said he was based in Southeast Asia. Mr. Styles knew what Tom was hoping for, to sell the infant orangutans to a private collector or unscrupulous zoo, where they are often beaten or drugged into submission and used for entertainment like mindlessly banging on drums or boxing one another. Such ape shows are a growing business in Southeast Asia, despite international regulations that prohibit trafficking in endangered apes. Several weeks later, after a few more rounds of text messages with Tom to firm up the details, Mr. Styles decided to fly to Bangkok. "I was way out on a limb," Mr. Styles admitted later. But he was eager to bring down Tom, who indicated that he could find orangutans and chimps with only a few days' notice, the mark of a major dealer. Ape trafficking is a little-known corner of the illicit wildlife trade, a global criminal enterprise that hauls in billions of dollars. But unlike the thriving business in elephant ivory, rhino horns, tiger bone wine or pangolin scales, ape smuggling involves live animals, some of the most endangered, intelligent and sensitive animals on Earth. Mr. Styles, 72, grew intrigued by apes decades ago as graduate student in anthropology. Since then, he has plunged deeper and deeper into the ape world, becoming the lead author of Stolen Apes, a report published by the United Nations in 2013 that was considered one of the first comprehensive attempts to document the underground ape trade. He and the other researchers estimated that the smuggling had claimed more than 22,000 apes, either trafficked or killed. Malnourished and terrified apes have been seized across the world, in undercover busts, or at border checkpoints, in countries as varied as France, Nepal, Thailand, the Democratic Republic of Congo and Kuwait. 2 years ago, at Cairo's International Airport, the Egyptian authorities discovered a baby chimp curled up into a ball and stashed in a piece of hand luggage. Just this summer, the authorities in Cameroon stopped a smuggler at a roadblock who was trying to move 100 pounds of pangolin scales and a tiny chimp, not even a month old, hidden in a plastic sack. But for every successful bust, wildlife specialists say, 5 to 10 other animals slip through. And for every smuggled ape, several more may have been killed in the process. Most species of apes are social and live in large groups, and poachers often wipe out entire families to get their hands on a single infant, which is far easier to smuggle. Transporting an adult chimp is like transporting a crate of dynamite, said Doug Kress, who until recently was the head of the Great Apes Survival Partnership, a United Nations program to help great apes. The adults are extremely aggressive and dangerous. That's why everyone wants a baby. Wildlife researchers say that a secret ape pipeline runs from the lush forests of Central Africa and Southeast Asia through loosely policed ports in the developing world, terminating in wealthy homes and unscrupulous zoos thousands of miles away. The pipeline, documents show, is lubricated by corrupt officials. Several have been arrested for falsifying export permits and run by transnational criminal gangs that have recently drawn the attention of Interpol, the international law enforcement network. Apes are big business. A gorilla baby can cost as much as $250,000, but who exactly is buying these animals is often as opaque as the trafficker's identity. Many times, researchers say, they can only begin to track where the apes have ended up by stumbling across the Facebook posts and YouTube videos of rich pet collectors. "This is sick," Mr. Styles said as he pulled up a picture of a small chimpanzee wearing lipstick. "You got this poor animal, without its mother, without any other members of its own species, totally bewildered and terrorized, all for human amusement." Wildlife